Hey guys, I'm so excited about this week's pack because we are talking about my favorite wine region in Italy, which is Piedmont. And I just got back last week from Piedmont. It was a magical trip filled with so much vitello tonato and carne crudo, aka meat and amazing pasta. And I am so excited that I get to send you these two wines in this pack. And they're from the same producer. These are two of the same exact grape, only in this pack you'll get to explore what does it mean to have a wine from Nebbiolo grape, but in the Langhe region. And then how is Nebbiolo transformed when it's planted in the noble region of Barolo, specifically in the northern part of Barolo, La Mora. I hope you enjoy these wines. When choosing wines for these packs, we really get excited when we can not only send great wine, but also educate in some way that's approachable and relatable and things that you might find when you're dining out. You know, you're looking at a restaurant wine list and you're probably wondering to yourself, why is Barolo so expensive? And if I love Barolo flavor, how can I get a wine that I can drink for maybe half the price? So here's the gist of this pack. I really thought it was important to understand the idea of a certain grape and then take that grape and put it in its, I guess, most holy place. So with this wine, the Bovio, which is labeled as Langhe Nebbiolo, you actually have the Nebbiolo grape, which is the only grape allowed in Barolo and Barbaresco. But in this case, the designation is called Langhe, which basically just means that it is from a larger area within Piedmont, just south of Alba. So just so we know, we're drinking a 2016 vintage, and that might be way too early to drink Barolo, and actually Barolo is not allowed to be released until a minimum of 3 years worth of aging. So it really we wouldn't see 2016 Barolo because it would be busy aging in the cellar of the winemaker. So this is an expression of young Nebbiolo. So what does Nebbiolo taste like? Let's look at this glass. This glass is the classic example of the Nebbiolo color. It's a thin-skinned grape, and you can kind of read through it. It almost looks like Pinot Noir in color. However, even for a young wine, this 2016, it has this neon kind of orange garnet color. You'd almost associate that garnet color with older wine, but in this case, the Nebbiolo grape always has that, even when young like this. So we have this thin-skinned grape, kind of a garnet color with a little hue that is orange. It looks pretty clear, not foggy or hazy or any of that. When you pick up the glass, it's just fresh, like red cherries. I mean, tart red cherries and cranberries. Has a really soft perfume, almost like dried rose petals. You can kind of feel the clay soil, almost even a calcium-rich soil, like a chalky clay mix. And a little bit of truffles, a little bit of mint, even eucalyptus. Wow, the wine keeps going and going and going. Yeah, I really get the eucalyptus on the nose. When you taste Nebbiolo, and this one in particular, you almost have to take a pause when you drink Nebbiolo. I look at it, I think it's gonna be light. In the beginning it tastes elegant and light, and it has like this, all of a sudden, sour red fruit, tart cranberries, like almost even maybe grapefruit on a red wine. And then the tannins kind of start up and they dry your mouth out and they feel really fine and pulverized. And the acid makes your mouth salivate while the tannin makes your mouth dry. So it's almost like you can't necessarily notice one from the other, or it's like a big round circle, which is amazing because it makes you want to take another sip. The finish is long, lingering. This is a juicy red wine. And I mean, if I didn't know better, I would think that this Nebbiolo example, the Nebbiolo from Langhe, was really, really close to being a Barolo. It has a lot of those same characteristics. And actually, just a little secret, this producer, Bovio, makes wine in one of the best subregions of Barolo called La Mora. And these grapes are actually coming from La Mora, so they're actually Barolo grapes. It's not aged as long, and the yields are a little higher, so they're not allowed to label it as Barolo. Cheers. So now it's time to try the Barolo from Bovio, and this is a 2013. This is a really traditional producer that ages wine or makes wine in Barolo according to the old school or old traditional methods, which is to say they don't use any new French barrique. It's all old Slavonian casks. And not only that, but the producer uses the grape Nebbiolo and leaves it with its skins for an extended period of time. This maceration of the skins with the juice gives you a little bit more tannin and structure. And being that they know that this wine is going to age for a minimum of 3 years, 18 months of which are in oak barrels, old oak, they actually don't mind some extra tannin. The idea is that the wine is meant to age, and I've had Bovio Barolos and Barolo in general that date back, 25, 50 years. There's so much structure, as we say, that these wines are really going to last for the long haul. So just like the Bovio Nebbiolo, this wine has that signature Nebbiolo color. It has a garnet and sort of light orange color, but maybe even a little bit more. We do have a 6-year-old wine, or a 5-year-old wine in this case. And right away, I think you can tell that this wine has a little bit more polish, a little bit more pedigree, but it's from the same family as the wine before. And it also has an intensity on the nose that maybe we didn't get as strong in the Bovio Nebbiolo. So a little bit riper red fruit. So there is some cranberry, but there's also some really ripe red strawberries and red cherries, red plum skin. And in this case, you kind of smell this sweet red fruit and also this sour red fruit. So it's almost like you had this bowl of perfectly ripe strawberries and you just zested some orange on top. And then you get peonies or sweet and dried pink and white roses, a little bit of a mushroom, but in this case even more than mushroom, maybe truffle. Oh God, this smells like clay and chalk and really intense soil that's clean. And there's a spicy note to the wine, almost like sassafras or kind of like a root beer. On the palate, that wine is just to be savored, to be thought of. It's so long and intense, but yet at the same time delicate and lifted and perfumed. This is really a wine that you can enjoy over an entire night. Just take a sip and you keep tasting it, and it's long and lingering. So it's not to say that the Nebbiolo isn't great. It is great, but you can immediately, when you taste these two wines side by side, see all the differences between length and finish, and even complexity and intensity. So maybe this is our Saturday night wine, and we're just gonna drink some Bovio Nebbiolo for large entertaining when we have a lot of people over, or even for just like a normal Tuesday night. I hope you enjoy these two wines. I'm so proud to work for the Weekly Tasting, where we get to hand select amazing wines and give you little tidbits to help you learn about them. For weekdays, I highly recommend you try Nebbiolo from the Langhe, or when you're dining out in restaurants and you just want to, save a little bit of money but have that Barolo flavor. And if you're looking to splurge, give a gift, and or just savor a long evening with a friend, I highly recommend the Barolo. I hope you enjoy both of them.